Today, we'll be reviewing the most important Balisong trick I learned as a beginner, the Zen Rollover. I consider the Zen Rollover to be the most important trick I learned as a beginner because it was the first trick I learned where I had to get over the psychological fear of being cut. While doing any trick with the bite handle runs the risk of you getting cut, by learning how the knife behaves, you reduce the chances of it happening by a very large amount. By getting over this fear, I was able to learn tricks such as the behind the 8-ball, the Helix, and around the world with much more confidence than I would have been able to otherwise. Before I continue, I should note that I've seen this trick described as a Y2K or meet the spy trick. While they do look similar, they are different, and hopefully you will be able to see why by the end of this video. The Y2K, for example, begins on the bite handle. To initiate the trick, you allow the knife to fall forward while you give it a little push. From this position, you'll immediately notice that no matter how hard the blade comes down on your finger, you will not get cut. From here, you can just open the knife like you were finishing a double rollout. The Zen Rollover is different from the Y2K for two noticeable reasons. The first being that the trick begins on the safe handle as opposed to the bite handle. The next being that if you allow the blade to come down on your finger like the Y2K, you will get cut. To avoid this, you need to allow your hand to give or dip with the knife while you complete the trick. You'll notice that though the blade came close to hitting my hand, because it lost almost all of its momentum, it was unable to hit me. Even if it were to have hit me, it would have been unlikely to have broken skin because there was no force behind it. From this position, you can rotate your hand to the left and swing the safe handle out to open the knife.
So, we still got problem.
Big problem.
In this video, you can see the trick that some refer to as meet the spy is actually just a Y2K. This is because the trick begins on the bite handle and finishes on the safe handle. While there's nothing wrong with calling it meet the spy, it's important to recognize that this trick is not a Zen rollover, and it's also important to recognize that there is already a name for the trick, that being the Y2K. The Zen Rollover can be a painful and difficult trick to learn, but it does not need to be. If you're worried about getting cuts while just trying to learn the motion of the trick, you can do what I did and tape the blade. There's nothing wrong with doing it so long as you just pretend as though the tape wasn't there. It'll allow you to get the motion of the trick down, and when you feel confident enough, you can take it off and try it for the real deal. If it's still too difficult, you could put the tape back on and keep practicing until you're ready to try again.